Why is it like this? Hello and welcome back to another live, people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing if you are new. And yeah, the bit of an emergency stream because unfortunately today we're not gonna have the show of Elijah as well. But I might as well give you guys a stream. I was always going to do this anyway. That will be back on Tuesday, people. But yeah, the breaking news for some reason is coming a Saturday morning. I have only just woken up. I have literally only just woken up and it's 12 because I was out last night. I was out late last night. Uh, and I did not expect it to be today. I did not expect him to not get the Everton and Arsenal game. I think it's good that that Nuno Espirito Santo is getting 2 games at least. But like Graham Potter, when he was signed, he only got 1 training session. Nuno's only got 2. What is wrong with this like ownership? I get it. We sack a manager just because we've got a deal agreed straight away. I get that. But that is ridiculous. I'm sorry. We never like no matter whether I want the manager or not, you're not giving them time to prepare. Which is why before I get into the chat, I'm going to say this. Am I happy? I don't care. Nothing changes with this ownership. So let me get into your comments. And big up the chat. Big up Jun. I'm excited for this one. You'll get relegated. No. Yo, you'll not get relegated now. Nuno is solid. I thought you said you were going to get relegated anyway. Big up. Football is ugly, but the results speak for itself. Facts. Good luck, Nuno. Big up to Deck. Literally, Nuno's coming in Ronaldo, but thank you very much. Your owners are still here, so keep protesting, but step 1, Potter is gone. Yeah, like a manager being sacrificed is because I generally think it's because of 2 reasons that I'm going to get into in a minute. By the way, there was another manager that did a press conference and got sacked after they did the press law. For example, Dyche at Everton did a press and got sacked last season. This is true. This is very true. I forgot about that, I forgot Dyche literally did a fucking, what's it called? He did a whole thing about, I'm still here sort of thing, still DRE, and then he got beats by Drade instead. Like, it's mad. Big up to Darren. Big up Wasim. Big up Potter gone. Yes, Potter is gone. Haram Ball is no more. I think Haram Ball is just getting started. They're about to bring in Nuno, so Haram is about to get... We're about to replace the Haram with a little bit of counter-attacking prowess, at least. Big up to Ronaldo, as always. I won't finish channel when I upload Premier League Manager Press and I do the timestamp below. Potter gets sacked off face swap and get mentioned yesterday. Facts. Bro, I think it's part of it. I think it did play a part, though. Just around how you feeling, Nuno is solid. He'll keep us up. I think we'll stay up. Anything beyond that, not confident at all, but he is a short-term fix, which is what the club needs. So who am I to argue that? Am I going to back him? I'm going to give him a chance, but I'm not going to give it... I'll be honest, guys, and this is nothing to do with Nuno Espirito Santo, but because of what I've seen under Potter, Lopetegui over the past year or so, I'm kind of tired of being extra patient with managers now. But I'm also tired of being extra in trying to get these managers out. So either way, I'm so focused on the ownership no matter what. I'm obviously going to criticize the manager when he does bad, praise the manager when he does good tactics-wise and stuff like that as well. When we have a tactical masterclass against a certain team, when we have a tactical disaster class against a certain team. But we're going to get into all the pros and cons. We're going to go Haram Ball getting started. Big up to you, mates. Get through that hangover. Always looking up for the drunk bros. Joe's so funny. I didn't even say. I think you guys can just tell I'm a little bit hungover. I'm going out tonight as well, so the grind doesn't stop in terms of drinking. I was literally drinking all day yesterday. Like literally from the afternoon to the in the middle of the night. So yeah. Did a press conference on Friday afternoon, sacked on Saturday morning. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. It's mad. I don't think they should have done that. I'll be so real. Here's what I think happened, guys. So I think the fans got Graham Potter sacked. I generally think the fans got Graham Potter sacked. And the reason why is for 3 things, guys. Online pressure does play a part. But in real life pressure, starting from the protest, I don't think the owners thought we were actually going to go through with it after they put out a statement, which, by the way, we'll get onto. If you guys remember my video from last week, by the way, they said in their statement, we back Graham Potter and we brought him in to get younger players in and stuff. We know you weren't backing him. One thing to the media, one thing to us. So first of all, I think the protest did a big thing to do with that. Second of all, obviously the result. West Ham Crystal Palace. you're getting sacked in the morning, you don't know what you're doing. That plays a part as well. That plays a part. And the result in just in general. But also, I do think the memes played a part. People are gonna think I'm fucking mental. I think the memes played a part. Genuinely. The reason why I say that is because basically, if you really look at it, online pressure is a big thing. There's not been a meme that's like this, that's taken over the whole stratosphere of Twitter. There hasn't been a meme like this. By the way, we're only going to go live for like 30, 40 minutes. Sorry, but the Man United game's going to be on. Nobody's going to watch. But I think the memes played a part because online pressure, it gets to like the press conference lot, it gets to the journalists, it gets to the owners because like the online world controls the narrative because all journalists do nowadays in press conferences is go off what's happening online. As you saw with the female journalist yesterday that asked him about at the end, what do you make of the memes? That was his last ever question as a West Ham manager. That was his last ever question. I think it all plays a part. I think it all plays a part. I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I think it does. As someone who had Nuno as a manager, you get some results against big teams, but the smaller teams' results are 50-50. This is why I don't like this appointment. Because I feel like I'm getting the exact thing I did with David Moyes, but the back end of David Moyes rather than prime David Moyes, where I'm getting someone who's going to sit back against Leeds at home. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to get someone that's going to like try and sit back against the promoted sides when you're at home. And when instead of trying to go for the win, he'll take an attacker off and pour like an extra defensive midfielder on or an extra defender on to see out the game when you're at home trying to win the game. That's a big problem for me. That's what I was complaining about beforehand. And it's not necessarily about because he's defensive. It's about it doesn't work. You have to bring the initiative when it's the right time to bring the initiative. I don't mind sitting back and counter-attack in football because I think we've got players to counter-attack. I actually think we've got perfect wingers and perfect players to counter-attack. But the whole thing is as well, the younger players need to be given a chance still. The younger players need to be given a chance because the younger players will be bringing more than the fucking older players at this club. The players that actually are meant to be called so-called senior players. They're not bringing much. They're not bringing much. Wait, what I don't get is why you got sacked now and they point to Nuno now, since Nuno has 2 days to train with the players and have to do Everton away, which would be a tricky one. Now, here's the thing. A warrior. What happens at West Ham is basically we only sack a manager if we've got the deal completely agreed with our replacement because West Ham don't hire interims. So it happened with Lopetegui and Potter. That's why we didn't sack Lopetegui until we agreed the deal with Potter after he got sacked against Man City. And it's the same now. So on Monday, I did a stream and it was like, Potter stays for now. Nuno nearly agreed. And it was weird because it was like, if Potter's staying for now, why is the deal with Nuno nearly agreed? It's because they haven't completely agreed it. So by the time we got to the end of the week, apparently Nuno met yesterday with Brady and Sullivan. That's the only reason why he's been sacked now and Nuno's come in. And unfortunately, like Graham Potter, when he got appointed, he barely gets any time to prepare for the game. Now, don't get me wrong, at 45 minutes in Graham Potter's first game, we actually looked quite good with one training session, so you never know. And with Everton losing to Wolves, they'll have a better team than they did against Wolves, but this gives us more of a chance of getting a result. It does. It gives us more of a chance. But I'll be honest, guys, and you guys are going to think I'm harsh, but I look at team selections and intent. What I'm going to say is you have to win me over with your team selections. You have to win me over because people can say the squad shit. There's good. There are good squads to pick. There are good squads to pick. You can pick a good team selection with this squad. So what I'm going to say is you have to win me over with a team selection. Play the best players on the pitch. As simple as that. That's all I want to see. Just play the best players. Team selection's important. If I see any terrorist movements like I have with every other manager I've seen at West Ham, literally every other manager, I'm not going to be on board. I'm sorry, I'm not. If I see something ridiculous, defensive-wise, attacking-wise, naivety, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to... Because, guys, I don't have time to be patient with anyone. I don't have time to be patient with anyone. I'm sorry, I don't have time to be patient. I can't be patient anymore. Because I've been trying to give every manager time, every player time under the sun. We're nearly getting relegated, but also we've been in the London Stadium for how long? Nearly 10 years. There's only so much I can really give you. There's only so much I can really give you now. I'm going to be so honest. Be prepared to sit back against Arsenal with 35% possession. We kind of did that for the past 2 seasons anyway. We won, but that's the only good thing Potter did was beat Arsenal, and we've got Arsenal soon. But Nuno doesn't really get a result there. I've seen Nuno's Forest teams play like that, and they were better teams than West Ham. Arsenal are still going to beat us. They're still going to beat us. To be fair, Nuno does let the kids have a run out. Yeah, but I want people to get given a chance. Like Freddie Potts needs to start for West Ham. Freddie Potts needs to start for West Ham. Like George Earthy needs to be given more of a chance as depth. Like Callum Marshall should be given more of a chance as depth. And even the young players we have in the club already that are not from the academy, like a Luis Guilherme and a Magassa, we need to see them. We need to see them. And Ollie Skulls, when Diouf isn't playing, he needs to play. It's about the intent. Also, Nuno doesn't play young players. He did at Wolves, albeit in the cups. However, yeah, we're out in the cup anyway. We're gonna probably lose an FA Cup. Like we need more than that. Need more than that because the young players are actually better than some of the olders. Yeah, that isn't playing young players. He puts on the same players 90% of the time, which is why I compare him to David Moyes. I compare him to David Moyes because of his antics when it comes to team selections, his tactics, his intent to go and win, which is all 0% of it. His actual team selections and having a certain amount of players that he trusts and doesn't give anyone else a chance. That's how I see him. It will get frustrating when you're at home against the Palace, but there's 9 men behind the ball. Like, that's why I'm not exactly like excited. I think we'll survive. Don't get me wrong, but I think we could do more. Mikes, why do you look like you've been crying about Potter leaving? I'm hungover and I'm also tired, and I don't really give a fuck about Potter leaving, to be honest. But big up Ghosted. You should be happy about Nuno, best manager you've had since Moyes. That's not saying much though. Like Lopetegui's fucking terrible. One of the worst managers I've ever seen in my life, and Graham Potter was basically just as bad. So being the best manager since Moyes is not really a high bar, but we'll see in it. I see him as a lot of like, I see him as too intent to like not win. Which is the problem with Graham Potter as well, by the way. He had the possession-based football, but it wasn't winning football. You know what I mean? Like, it was keep the ball for the sake of keeping the ball and not have any shots. I want to see my team test keepers. I want to see my team tackle. I want to see my team actually be a team. Harry Potter gone, but you think you'll survive now? I think we'll survive. Nuno, the kind of guy that will stop at red lights and GTA facts. You said intent to win, but Moyes was the only manager to win your trophy in how long? Here's what I mean by intent to win. What I mean is, do you know when you're in a game and you're like drawing with the team, for example, instead of chasing the win, these men bring on like defensive midfielders, centre backs, and change your formation to like a 5 in the back or a solid 3 in the middle to try and see out the game rather than going out to win the game. Is what I mean. These are the type of managers I'm talking about. And that was the problem with Graham Potter as well, by the way. And that was the problem with Lopetegui. Lopetegui and Graham Potter did the exact same thing. Instead of going to chase the game, Potter only chased the game like a couple of times. Lopetegui and Potter did the same thing. They were trying to solidify. Like, do you guys remember the Palace game? The Tottenham game, sorry. Was it Tottenham or Palace? Palace game, they've just gone. Ward-Prowse stayed on the pitch. Fernandes came off for Magassa. But Ward-Prowse stayed on. It's like the favourites get in the way of the actual like brand of trying to win the game. That was my problem with Potter as well. I keep the same energy with every single manager. That's his brand of football. Yeah, exactly. Bro, you're West Ham, you should be happy. You're a Premier League club. The owners are happy with that. Because we're in the London Stadium, I'm not. If we were at Upton Park, I'd hear you. But it's West Ham. Like, I don't like this though. I'm sorry, I don't like this because we didn't move stadium to just be happy with everything. Like, I'm sorry, I've seen the same shit for 10 years, bro. So I'm kind of just sick of it. Cool, we survive, and then what? What's going to happen after we survive? Big up to John every single time. Nuno took Forest from 17th to 7th. Yes, but what I will say is, for example, Steve Cooper was heavily underachieving. I'm not going to discredit what he's done, by the way. I think Nuno was harshly treated by Marinakis, which I don't know why he's coming to work for us, because Bro, he just got frustrated under Marinakis, but he's coming to work under a worse owner. I don't understand that. But what I will say is that in the season they actually got Europe. In the back end of that, we saw what Forest are like. Once you give Forest the ball under a coach who doesn't coach on the ball, they don't know what to do with the football. They don't know what to do with the football, which is why I'm so frustrated, because I'm like, I hope we get coached on and off the ball properly, where we're solid, but we at least give you something in possession. 4 or 5 at the back. Obviously, he hasn't started at 5 at the back in time. I think our squad is suited more to a 4 than a 5, if I'm being so honest with you guys. So I'm just getting the Man United game, man. I'm going to be so honest. I think our squad's suited to more a 4 than a 5. I think we saw that under Potter. But then again, the system also changes the formation as well. I hear it, but with the squad, there's not much options to bring up top. Yeah, up top, yeah, like he's fucked. Up top he's fucked. I'll be so real. I'll be so honest. He's fucked. At some point you have to blame the owners. You can't keep blaming the managers all the time. And that's what we're doing. Don't get me wrong. That's why, bro. It's like when people are like, "Oh, congratulations." The people ghosted. People have been like, "Congratulations, Potter's gone." We've still got David Sullivan. We've still got David Sullivan in charge. David Sullivan and Karen Brady are in charge. So I ghosted. Any West Ham fan would tell you, owners. Every West Ham fan would tell you, owners. Any West Ham fan that doesn't think that the owners are the problem, I'm going to be this guy. I'm going to be that guy and say they're not a real West Ham fan. I don't care about policing fans, but I'm going to say this. If you are David Sullivan, Gold, and Karen Brady in, and Gold, I know he's not alive anymore, but his family are. His family still own the club. You are not a real West Ham fan. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. By the way, my eyes are red because I'm fucking tired and I'm hungover. Just me, but I'm not a fan of managers that play 5 at the back. For me, it's relative. I think it's like, I don't actually mind the formation as such, but you need to like defend in a 5 and attack in a 3. And I think like Glasner gets the perfect balance of that. For example, he will be a terrorist one time and then he'll give you attacking intent and he'll still press the fuck out of you. I like managers like that get the balance of the 5 at the back. But most of the time when people line up in a 5-4-1, most managers play a DM against them and they've got the spare man in midfield or they're sitting too deep. That's my problem with it. God damn, from Graham Pothead to Nuno Espirito sack 2. Big up Connor. It's long for real. It is long. It's an upgrade though. Well, we'll say it's definitely an upgrade. I'll say that for sure, bro. It's definitely an upgrade, but I don't think it's same. I think Graham Potter needs to retire. That's why I think Graham Potter needs to genuinely retire. By the way, now that we're here, what was your favorite Graham Potter face swap, guys? What was your favorite? Mine was the Big John, the Bosch guy. The Bosch. That was my favorite one. Should I love 5 at the back, but only played in an attacking way. Exactly. When you see 5 at the back in an attacking way as well, it's very balanced. Because off the ball, you're still solid. And I like it when, like, for example, you're pressing them from a goal kick and the wing back comes to press their fullback. I like that stuff. Because as long as you've got centre backs that can defend really well in wide areas, you got that. If Mike sees a Greek, Czech, and James Ward-Prowse in the lineup, Nuno on fraud watch for you. Put it this way. Okay. Guys, listen to me. Yeah, you guys are here early. Penguino, Connor, Ghosted, John, Warrior, Jun, all you man, yeah. Everyone in the chat. Here's how Nuno will not win me over. He will not win me over. If I see a Ward-Prowse Souček pivot, he's a terrorist. If I see Tadibo on the bench for Mavropanos and Kilman, terrorist. If I see a substitution where it's 1-1, we need to go win the game, but he brings an attacker off and brings an extra defender or defensive midfielder on, terrorist. If I see any midfielder on the left-hand side that isn't named Mateus Fernandes or Lucas Paquetá, terrorist. There is so many. But Al-Qaeda's coming. Seeing Forest fans getting captivated by a style of play is hilarious, like watching a friend get flirted on by a cheating ex. And I watched that Betis game. They didn't look that good at first, and then they dominated, and then they bottled it. Seems like a very Ange Postecoglou game, if I do say so myself. At least James Ward-Prowse will back the curb now. Now we do have hope because we loaned out Ward-Prowse to Forest last season and Nuno didn't play him. But I think it's because of the options they had. To be fair to him, he trusted Ryan Yates fucking more. But he also had Elliot Anderson. He also had Sangare. He had other players. He had Dominguez. He had other players to play there. We don't have many, but we have enough. We have Magassa, we have Potts, we have Paquetá and Fernandez that can play in the eights as well as the 10. So I'm not really trying to see an excuse. Even with Souček, I don't want Souček to play, but I'd rather Souček to play any day over James Ward-Prowse. It's like that Spurs, Max. The owners never let you hit the next level, and that's why, like, obviously you guys understand to an extent, even though you haven't struggled as much as us, but you guys understand because of your ownership. Like, they're holding you back, even though you've been promised so much stuff once reaching the new stadium and stuff. But you guys understand where I'm coming from in it. I agree it's an upgrade from a Nokia to a Sony Ericsson. No, that's a perfect way to think of it. I'll be so honest. Too many to decide from. Come on, what's everyone's favorite? Mine was the bro. I did retweet it, but I also quote tweeted it saying red card. Bro, that I can't lie, I nearly threw up. I nearly threw up with that face with them tears, bro. I was like, nah, man. Wasn't Sangare injured like the whole of last season? Yeah. I forgot Sangare. It's because they had another player, but I just couldn't think of who it was. It wasn't Sangare that played. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, James Ward-Prowse still couldn't play, could he? Big up everyone, like and subscribe. Big up Musty every single time. We're gonna go for like 10 minutes, and I'll redirect you over to like a Man United YouTuber that's like watching the game because I want to watch the game as well. I'm not gonna have the thing with Elijah tonight. We'll have it back on Tuesday. It's my fault because I'm going out tonight, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But for me with Nuno, obviously the fact that he was hired immediately doesn't surprise me because the only time we actually get a manager in is because when we've got the deal completely agreed in advance. So it's basically a case of we don't have interims. Our interims are basically full-time managers. Like Moyes was not only interim in his first spell, but he's an actual manager. He's not like it's not like it's Stuart Pearce taking over for 6 months. Like Moyes has got a CV, he's a manager. So that's like the difference. That's like the difference between like us and a normal club. And a normal club, for example. Then Potter Chugs got me pretty fuck's sake. Mike playing Resident Evil. I don't play games. I only play Football Manager. So I don't really play games like that, I'll be so honest. But when Football Manager comes out, I'll have gaming streams. I'll have gaming streams for sure. I'll definitely have gaming streams. But I don't even think, by the way, Nuno has enough time to really prepare like that for Everton. Like, I don't know how he's meant to prepare for Everton. I'll be so honest. Like, how the fuck are you meant to prepare for Everton when the game's on Monday and we're on a Saturday? He's meant to take over training today, so he's going to be in time for the game. But let's be honest here, that ain't enough. Jack Grealish is going to be on smoke. He's going to be on smoke, like he always is. When he came on against Wolves, I watched the game against Wolves that they played in the Carabao Cup. They genuinely look dog shit without Jack Grealish. They genuinely look dog shit. Without him, they're nothing. They're genuinely nothing. Like Dewsbury Hall could play, Illiman and Dyer good player, but Grealish is the spark. Big up Mellon every single time. Potter got his tits out to get fired. I said, get your tits out for the lads, and he literally got his tits out. It's mad. Potter is a wanker. Bruv. May the memes continue, by the way. I don't care if he's here or not. I want the memes to continue. I can't even lie. I had a clip that was about to come out on the channel as well, talking about Mike's reacting to the Potter memes. Should I still release that? Let me know. Because I didn't think I'd have a video for today. But I'm going to create a little upload reacting to all of this afterwards. I might just clip up this stream as well. But I'm glad it's not Sean Dyche. I'm glad it's not Gary O'Neill. I'm glad it's not Slaven Bilic. I'm glad it's not. I can't remember who else we were linked to. That was shit. But those were the main three. Edin Terzic as well. It's the best manager that we were linked with. It's the best manager we were linked with. By far. But that's not saying much. And that doesn't mean I should be happy with it either. Because we literally just hire managers on a free. And that's our candidate list. That don't mean shit. I think it's cool for the short term. It is cool for the short term. And we only need to focus on the short term right now, but I'm afraid of what I'm going to be able to see on the pitch. I still put it this way, guys, just because we survived doesn't mean I'm going to be happy. Just because we survived doesn't mean I'm going to be happy. Don't mean I'll be happy you survived. No. No, we didn't move stadium just to fucking survive. We could have done everything here, like we did at Upton Park. I am not going to put up with shit. I'm not putting up with shit. I do not care what people say. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, oh, but you survived, guys. I've seen this team survive multiple times. I've seen West Ham survive multiple times in the relegation battles. I know when West Ham are going down and when West Ham are not going down. It just is what it is. Did you react to the jugs? If you did release the vid, bro, I didn't put that. I can't put that in the video because I would just get, first of all, demonetized. It would just get demonetized. So it might even get age restricted because the tits are basically out. They're basically out when Potter was doing all of that stuff, and I'm gonna say he was doing all of that stuff because fuck him. I don't care what Potter. Maybe he should be a pundit. He'd be quite boring as a pundit, but he'd be a better pundit than manager. Remember, he was a pundit just before. He was actually a manager of West Ham for less than West Ham when Lopetegui should have been sacked and we lost to Ruud van Nistelrooy. That was nearly a year ago. Potter didn't even last a year. Like he lasted longer than Lopetegui. Pause. But again, that's not saying much, is it? Big up Devontae. Happy for you, Max. Nuno is better. He is better. He's better. But I think the truth is, I think a lot of people. I'm not saying you're saying this, Devontae, but I think a lot of people also think that he's going to bring us to like the way Forest was. I completely disagree. I don't think like the coaching level is on the same as Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle. I know Villa are struggling right now, but Villa are still better overall. Newcastle, Forest, Brighton. I don't even rate Brighton like that. I think this will make us better than the Brentfords, the Leeds, the Sunderlands, maybe the Burnleys. Who else is down there? I would say the Wolves. It'll make us better than them. But again, that's not saying much, is it? The bar is low. The bar is in 19th place, funny enough. When we talk about where the bar is of standards and expectation, the bar seems to be in 19th place. It's not the crossbar. It's in 19th place. That's where the bar is. I feel like our expectations are always adjusted to the league position that we're in rather than what the club should be doing. And it should always be adjusted to what the club should be doing instead, in my humble opinion. People can disagree with that. I don't mind. But at the same time, what do you expect me to say when we've been promised to be moved to the next level for nearly 10 years? He'll save you from relegation, but before he could do what he did before us, the team needs to do better. The team needs to be better. Yeah, facts. I agree with that. Yes, we are the wooden spoon this season. We are so bad. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. I can't lie. I feel sorry for you. I didn't know any Wolves fans before Deck was in my chat, man. I feel sorry for Deck. I've always liked Wolves as well because of the stadium. Stadium's a brilliant stadium. Man United, Brentford just scored against Man United, by the way. Igor Thiago just scored. So Man United are in the mud. Also, that's another team. We're going to be better than Man United now. That's another team that's a relegation team. But listen, people, listen. Because Brentford just scored, yeah, and because I wasn't going to go for that long anyway, pause. We're going to redirect to a Man United fan. Let's see who's live. It's Touchline Live. It's Touchline Live. Redirect. Who's live? Touchline's live. All right. Go over to Touchline stream and say Mike's Raid in the chat. And yeah, we'll chat to you guys in a bit. Take care and peace. Because I wasn't going to go live for that long anyway.